Welcome to The Money Show, the destination place of news, reviews, and interviews, and for what matters most to you and your money. Money.ca online and Money Magazine bring you the latest information, data, and insight that will help you make, save, and preserve more of your money. Join us on a continuous odyssey of learning where the rewards of listening make sense and pays dividends. And we're back with Market Update. The Toronto Stock Exchange posted a triple-digit rebound as gold hit a 7-month high after two of the most indebted European countries outlined new austerity measures. The S&P TSX Composite Index added 106 points to 12,339. Spain and Greece outlined plans to cut spending and raise taxes to convince international lenders and financial markets they are on the right track to cutting their deficits. The Canadian dollar rose to 101.95 cents U.S. Wall Street was also higher, with the Dow ahead by 73 points. Gold prices closed up to $1,800 an ounce. Research in Motion gained 12%, beating analyst expectations, and BlackBerry is looking good for the next quarter, according to senior management. And now it's time for Best Rate Around. Best rate around refers to exactly that: the highest interest rates paid, the lowest mortgage rates offered, and the best rates, rankings, and returns overall. A one-year mortgage with Caisse Financial is 2.39%. The 3-year lowest mortgage rate by Butler Mortgage is at 2.69%. For a 5-year mortgage, AMS offers the best rate around at 2.76. The best variable rate is 2.55, with the current prime rate set at 3%. GIC rates, as you know, GICs are guaranteed investment certificates, a Canadian investment that offers a guaranteed rate of return over a fixed period of time, most commonly issued by trust companies or banks. A GIC, also known as term deposits, are sold by banks, trust companies, near banks, and registered deposit brokers. Be advised that rates may vary and offers are subject to change without notice. Current GIC rates are 1 year 2.05 at Achieva Financial, 2-year 2.25 Accelerate Financial, 3-year 2.45% at Outlook Financial, 4-year 2.60 at Outlook, 2.85 for the 5-year at ICICI Bank in India or from India, 6-year 1.75 at Scotiabank, 7-year 2.10 at the Royal, 8-year 2.1 at Scotia, 9-year 2.1 Scotiabank, and the 10-year at 2.30 at the Royal Bank. Just a note and reminder, the RRSP deadline for 2013 is March 1st. And good news for those who want to make, save, and preserve more of their money. The Government of Canada's sponsored tax-free savings account, the TFSA, increases from $5,000 to $5,500 as of January 1st, 2013. And now it's time for the Money Show's featured company profile. We recently had a chance to sit down with David Arrington, president of AMI, Accessible Media Inc., and ask a few questions about this important and meaningful company.
Needs. Right. So we serve the blind and low vision community. That's our #1 target audience. And the blind and low vision community is probably about 1 million people, approximately 1 million people who are legally blind or low vision in Canada. And that number is going to double over the next 20 years. As the aging population, we're all growing older now, which is great. But with that, our eyes are not staying. Our eyes can't live as long as our life is, our expectancy is. So lots of older, that baby boom is falling into that group of people. So our purpose is to allow them to participate in this media revolution going forward. And as that population expands and grows, and hopefully there'll be a cure at one time, but at this point there is not, we want to be able to provide media options for them. So again, the mission statement of making all media accessible to all Canadians includes the blind and low vision community. So we have our audio service, which has been around for, like I said, 21 years ago now. originally called VoicePrint, and now it's rebranded AMI Audio, and it's really a reading service. So we have bureaus across Canada, offices across Canada. We have 10 of them, and we have over 500 volunteers on a daily basis come in to our offices, and they'll read an article from the local newspaper. It can be an article from the Globe and Mail, it can be the Toronto Sun, it can be the Calgary Herald, it can be the Lethbridge, Observer, and they'll come and they'll read that article, and they'll create an audio file of that article, and we play that on our audio service. So if you're blind or low vision and you cannot access the local newspaper, you can get that in audio format on AMI Audio. On top of that, we run a lot of our original content on there, content that is specific to the demographic that we cater to. But really, it's the world's largest reading service. That's the original product. The second product, which was launched 3 years ago, is AMI TV. And like I said again, it consists of first-run programming. We have things like The Making of Titanic, Murdoch Mystery. We run Hollywood movies on there. We run a lot of old sitcoms like All in the Family, Rockford Files. But all that programming is made accessible through description. So we add a third audio track on there where someone is describing what's happening in the background. So if you're blind and low vision, you can follow along. So those are the two main products.
Is that just for blind people?
No, it can be for blind people. It can be people with ESL as a second ESL learning English as a second language. Right. But it's mainly for blind people or low vision people who have a hard time following along. So they can kind of follow along with the track, and it helps them, take in the content the same as somebody else is. So when they're watching with somebody, if you meet someone who's blind, they're watching TV and there's no description, they're constantly asking you, what's happening? What's going on? I don't know. Where are they going? So you have to describe them. With description, it takes that away and allows them to participate in the content, allows them to enjoy the content with their family at the same time. And then the third product is our website, which is ami.ca. All that content will reside on there eventually. A lot of the audio content's on there now. We'll be launching a video player in the next 12 months. We'll have our video player on there. The key to the website is it's accessible. It reaches WCAG AA standards where it's easily navigated through screen readers. And that's a challenge with respect to what other people have to face with a website. But we want to make sure that all of our platforms are fully accessible. Then in the future, we'll look at mobile, and then in the future after that, we'll look at tablets and things like that. But those are really our three main products right now. We're lucky to be in the position we are. Strong government, good programming content that we share with our Canadian content from our partners and content we create on our own. And our distributors, our broadcasters, our cable companies and satellite companies are really supportive of what we do. That's it, and that's unique to any other service in the world. No other industry or no other country offers accessible programming like Canada does. We're actually one of the leaders. But it was more or less an awareness campaign of what description is and how it changes the lives of the people who require it. How it allows them to feel socially connected by participating in the daily media consumption everybody else does.
Money. You want to make it, save it, and preserve more of it. That's why you need money.ca and Money Magazine to get all the valuable, actionable news that you want and need. Money.ca attracts, retains, and engages the attention of investors, advisors, and financial product manufacturers that make for a more efficient investment marketplace. Visit us now at money.ca or call 1-800-789-1011. Up next, a feature interview with Sam Saif, financial guru, entrepreneur, and former owner of exchange-traded funds company Claymore Investments.
Well, exchange-traded funds, or better known, I guess, in the markets now as ETFs, are really actually a very simple concept. It's really, a lot of people in Canada as an investor are familiar with mutual funds, and ETFs are just mutual funds that trade on an exchange, just like a stock would. So they kind of have the key benefits of having both all the benefits that a mutual fund would provide, which is, when you buy it, you're buying a big portfolio of different types of securities, whether that be equities, bonds, or commodities or other types of securities. But you also get the benefit of a stock, which is you get to trade it and invest in it just the same way that you would with over the exchange. it is actually quite interesting because the exchange-traded fund market has grown quite rapidly. It's actually a very recent business. It's only been around for about 20 or so years since the first exchange-traded fund was listed here in Toronto, in Canada, in fact. But we've seen enormous growth over the last 20 years, mainly because of the fact of the quality of these products. Today, I think globally ETFs represent about just over $1.5 trillion. I mean, and that sounds like a lot of money when you think about it, but in fact, the overall global mutual fund market is about $25 trillion. So it's still a small piece of the overall investment landscape, but growing quite rapidly. In Canada, we have about $50 billion in ETFs versus about $800 billion in mutual funds. The difference being is that mutual funds are very well established. They've been around for a long time, but they've also got a lot of embeddedness in terms of active money management. And mutual funds, and ETFs on the other hand, have been coming to market much more with a lower cost, more transparent type approach, and taking a more passive approach to the marketplace. And so both products ultimately do deliver the same types of exposure. So you can go and buy dividend mutual funds, or you can buy a dividend ETF. You can buy a bond mutual fund, you can buy a bond-based ETF. You can buy a balanced mutual fund, and you can buy a balanced ETF. So in fact, with the growth of the ETF industry, the growth of products, the growth of choice, you're actually seeing the same accessibility to any strategy that you would in a traditional mutual fund. But for the most part, you're seeing that at a lower price point in terms of management fees. So lower management fees, and hopefully over long periods of time, we're seeing the performance actually do better for investors because of those lower management fees. First and foremost, we're seeing a lot of movement towards this concept of active and passive. It used to be a long time debate around active money management is better than passive money management, and passive is better than active. I look at this as very similar. It's simple. We think that active and passive work well really within a portfolio. So investors are finding good active money managers and finding good passive investment managers and putting them together. And I think that's what we're seeing both at the institutional level and retail level. So that's a big trend. And we're going to see that trend for a long time. And that's one of the reasons why ETFs have actually been seeing a lot of adoption. Second is we're seeing a lot more movement towards this idea of trying to reduce risk in a portfolio. So broad diversification, recognizing what is real risk. I mean, how much exposure do I want to any one type of asset class, any one type of segment of the market, sector, so forth. And I think it's very important that people understand that diversification truly is one of the true free lunches in investing, and it continues to be that way.
And now it's time for You and Your Money. You and Your Money is the culmination and collaboration of some of the top Canadian authors, writers, and bloggers sharing their ideas, thoughts, time, and focus on what matters most in the areas of money and personal finance. Is Money Your Friend? By Tammy Johnston. How do you feel about money? Is it something that makes you happy? Does it bring you joy? Does it make you worry, stress, and fret? Does it make you feel guilty? How you feel about money determines the impact it has on and in your life. Money is a tool. It is totally and completely neutral. Although money does have the ability to magnify what you already are. Money does not make you greedy or selfish, but it makes it much more obvious. Money does not make you generous or prosperous, but it makes the evidence of it much more prominent. The problem most people have with money is that they have conflicting feelings in regards to money. Most people want more money for the positive things it can do in their lives, but have negative beliefs that sabotage them. Thoughts of there's not enough money to go around. Money is the root of all evil. You can't buy happiness. People with money are evil, bad, and unethical. Only greedy people have money. Rich people only care about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. To be rich, I have to be a workaholic, etc., etc., etc. In order to start bringing more money into your world, you have to welcome it. You need to learn to let go of the false negative beliefs you hold about money. Identify what financial thoughts are holding you back and start to change them into positive, moving forward beliefs. I choose to view money as a wonderful, positive, life-changing tool. Money allows me to keep a comfortable home for my family. Money allows me luxuries like travel, entertainment, and toys. Money gives me the ability to financially support my favorite charities, like World Vision, Free the Children, and Kiva. Money allows me to have positive hope for the future. So I challenge you to identify what fears you have towards money. By finding out what has been limiting your progress, counteracting your efforts, and maybe even dragging you down, you can start taking the right steps to take you to the positive places you want to go. There is a secret psychology to money. Most people don't know about it. That's why most people never become financially successful. A lack of money is not the problem. It is merely a symptom of what's going on inside you.
And now for the Money Financial Product Review. Marty Gunderson, reporting for You and Your Money, clarifies the definition of exempt market dealer with the industry pros.
So let's get right to this here. Karen, we're going to be talking about exempt market dealers. Tell us a little bit about what EMD or an exempt market dealer is.
An exempt market dealer is a dealership or an organization that oversees the sale and due diligence and facilitates the distribution of exempt market products. So it's a highly regulated industry. We have to be vetoed by the securities regulators in order to operate. And we have dealing representatives that we supervise that actually sell the products that we have on our shelves. It's important also to mention that the exempt market dealer category is brand new. It was exempt market dealers just came into effect in 2010. So the exempt market dealership registration category has not really been around for very long. It was brought in with something called National Instrument 31103.
Yeah.
And to oversee the private equity markets, which were pretty much unregulated up until this point in time.
Good. Okay. All right. Thank you. You know what's really neat? I was at the EMDA conference here in Toronto about a month ago, and I spoke with a number of different exempt market dealers, and every exempt market dealer just acts a little bit different. You know, some of them are pure venture capital firms that they raise their own capital and fund startup deals, to where you have a pure retail operation that's, you know, competing head to head with a mutual fund dealership. And so it's neat to see there's a lot of different iterations of an exempt market dealer.
Money is especially honored to be invited each year as a special guest to the Canadian Investment Awards ceremony and gala to cover the best of the best in Canadian investing and money management. Next up, Peter Mansbridge, the regular host, explains about the prestigious 2013 awards.
Hello there, I'm Peter Mansbridge. It's that time again. Time to celebrate excellence in the Canadian investment industry. Time for the Morningstar Investment Awards.
And now for the Morningstar Canadian Investment Award winners. Domestic Equity Fund Manager of the Year, Oscar Belash, GCIC Limited. Foreign Equity Fund Manager of the Year, David Ragan, Moyer Investment Management Limited. Fixed Income Fund Manager of the Year, Phillips Hager North, Fixed Income Team. Analyst Choice, Fund Company of the Year, RBC Global Asset Management Inc. ETF Provider of the Year, iShares, BlackRock Canada. Advisor's Choice, Investment Company of the Year, Fidelity Investments Canada. IFIC, Investor Education Award, Brandis Scholarship Program. Career Achievement Award, Arthur Labatt. Best Canadian Balanced Fund, Steady Income Investment Funds Inc. Best Global Balanced Fund, CI Signature High Income. There are 40 carefully selected categories of investing that are reviewed to determine the overall winners of the Canadian Investment Awards. A complete list of the 40 winners are available in the next quarterly issue of Money Magazine, an entire section of Mutual Fund Magazine is in time for the RSP season and dedicated to all the Canadian award winners, including news, information, data, and commentary.
And thank you for watching The Money Show broadcast today and each and every week. We value your viewership, and we really want to know more about what you think of The Money Show. And or if you have any questions or concerns about money, or want to hear or know more about it or us, then just let us know. We are available online at www.money.ca, info@money.ca, or call 416-360-0000. The Money Show is powered by you and your money and produced by Money Media. The next quarterly published Money magazine will be available in January at fine retail establishments across Canada, including Chapters and Indigo. Now that you know us, you are no stranger to money, so stay tuned for next week's episode where you learn to make, save, and preserve more of your money. For The Money Show, I'm Jim Ruta.
Money, me and my money, you and your money, more for the money. Get news, reviews, and interviews to make it, save it, take it if you want it, just so you know. Welcome to The Money Show.